Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Tom Johnson begins now.
We'll turn to some breaking news now. 5 New Zealand nationals are in hotel quarantine tonight after trying to enter Tasmania. For more, we're joined live by reporter Sean McComas. And Sean, it's not the welcome they were perhaps expecting.
Oh, good evening, Tom. No, not at all. The group includes 2 parents and 2 children who arrived in the state over the weekend, as well as another person who arrived in Launceston today. All will now be required to spend 14 days in hotel quarantine. The state government says travel conditions for New Zealanders hoping to enter the state from other jurisdictions after October 26 will be subject to public health advice in coming days. But for now, it seems to show there is some confusion among New Zealanders over what the Trans-Tasman bubble means in Australia, with New Zealanders also arriving in Melbourne and WA.
A fight over frozen chips has erupted between unions and Woolworths. The supermarket giant is being accused of backing European jobs over Tasmanian, but it's calling the claim half-baked.
Made in the Netherlands, sold in Tasmania.
It's just crazy, absolute crazy. And there's one thing we should have learnt from COVID-19, we can't rely on overseas product.
The Northwest is a potato powerhouse. But unions argue Woolworths is giving local fries the flick. They're calling for a freeze on frozen imports of chips.
We've only just become aware of it over the last few weeks. People have noticed it in the freezers, so they're replacing some of the local product with some of this. And, you know, it ain't much cheaper, to be quite honest, about 11 cents a packet cheaper.
The company says it's only the cheaper Essential brand being imported. Its other Woolworths label is still made locally at spots like McCain and Simplot. This year has seen the supermarket embark on an advertising blitz to buy local.
You can't put ads in the paper one day saying that you should buy Australian and people should support you because you buy Australian, at the same time as you're importing international goods in direct competition with Tasmanian produce.
Labor is also linking it with a recent decision to allow South Australian potato imports into the state. The Primary Industries Minister accepts there is anxiety among growers over biosecurity.
There has been a level of concern, absolutely, with respect to the importation potentially of these potatoes from South Australia, but they also understand that there has to be an independent, objective assessment undertaken.
A review into the state's import rules is underway. Sean McComas, 7 Tasmania News.
After a turbulent year for travel, Tasmanians eager to set their sights on Antarctica's icy landscape will be able to depart from here in the state. A one-off return flight to the cool south from Hobart has been announced by RACT Travel for January 2022. It's just the second scenic flight from Tasmania since air tours began in 1994.
By bringing this opportunity to Tasmania, we're hopefully giving people the opportunity to see Antarctica and to be able to tick it off their bucket list.
Tickets go on sale tomorrow until November 9. Hundreds of brave participants put their bodies to the test today, racing up Launceston's steepest street. Initially knocked back by COVID-19, the Balfour Burn returned after a 3-year hiatus, raising money for young Tasmanians.
Embarking on a steep slog, not for the faint-hearted. Some helped uphill by 4-legged friends, others using a pram to brace the burn, trying to catch their breath back when finally reaching the top.
Well, I think the first half started out okay, and then just the end kind of got you a bit.
Oh, it's a lot tougher than it looks. You look from the bottom and you think it's not that far, but you kind of get about 40-50 metres out from the finish and the legs don't have a lot left.
Towards the end of the line, I was feeling a bit dizzy. I was like, oh God. But, you know, yeah, very rewarding. Cool. Tough work though.
Hosted by St Giles, the 400-metre trek seeing various heats race up Launceston's steepest road, Balfour Street.
Great bit of fun. It was fantastic to see about 350, 400 people turn out and have a crack at this monster of a hill here. But yeah, quite tough, particularly that last little section.
The Balfour Burn raising money for Tasmanians of all abilities to get involved in theatre.
People living with a disability, but also people that aren't living with a disability, and that's the whole idea of it, that we can actually bring young people, bring children together, can learn theatre, singing, dancing, acting together.
The event returning after a 3-year break and a recent bump in the road, with organisers canning the original March date due to COVID-19.
I was looking forward to it when it was scheduled earlier in the year, and I was probably a bit fitter back then, but it's all for a good cause.
Ruby Kamane, 7 Tasmania News.
Around 30 Hobart walkers have put one foot forward today, raising heart rates, money and awareness for mental health. The group hikes through Queen's Domain advocating exercise as a positive boost for well-being, while raising funds for the Mental Health Foundation following a tough year for many.
With the current crisis that we have and people trying to find some normalcy around that and keep themselves healthy, it's really important that we maintain some of those routines and habits. So getting out for a walk can do wonders for your head.
Teams also registering online for a virtual event. The state's recreational fishing body says modern facilities to cast a line are critical to growing the booming pastime. Tasmania is one of the biggest fishing states in the country, and the government says more people than ever are grabbing a rod and reel after coronavirus.
We have, in fact, over 100,000 Tasmanians that enjoy recreational fishing all around the state, sea fishing and also inland fishing.
Today, some of our youngest anglers were showing off their skills for Gone Fishing Day. The Taruna Penguins are this year's rugby champions after a crushing 23-point grand final upset over Devonport. The undefeated men from the northwest fought back from 10-0 down to lock the match up early in the first half, but Taruna ran rampant in the second stanza, scoring 28 unanswered points. The Bulls did score some consolation tries late in the match, but the damage was already done. Northwest Graduates players feel the monkey is off their backs after winning yesterday's Premier League hockey crown. The title is their first in years, and it came in stunning fashion.
A picture-perfect moment after a near-perfect season. The men in blue lifting the trophy for the first time in 6 years.
Clearly head and shoulders the best side on grand final day.
Northwest Graduates took their uni counterparts to school with luck.
Oh, as we're speaking, Richardson has ghosted into the back post.
And finesse in front of goal.
Powerful, low, bottom right, into the backboard.
To rally to a 3-0 victory.
Oh, it feels brilliant. It's, as you said, it's been a long time coming and been since 2014, since we last won, so it's just such a relief.
The result not as straightforward in the women's, a game of centimetres.
And shoots just wide of the near post.
At both ends.
And I'm surprised that didn't cross the line. To be honest, it was dribbling that way. Some desperate defence by OHA on the line.
But shortly after the second half, Madison Brooks broke the deadlock.
Backstick can't give a space there. Bang, goal!
Diamondbacks held off the attacking assault and in the dying minutes had a golden opportunity to respond.
Rolls one in, he's Donovan at the far post!
An equaliser and the title gone begging. 3 consecutive grand final appearances for OHA and now finally a trophy to show for it.
Third time lucky, I think, but yeah, it's pretty nerve-wracking 1-0 win, but yeah, it was good.
Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
South Hobart and Clarence have both recorded victories in today's Women's Super League soccer, with the Zebras thrashing the Kingborough Lions 4-0. Meanwhile, Olympia is on cloud 9 and is a step closer to securing the title after yesterday's win over Ulverston. Strike weapon Bonnie Davis again proved hard to contain, scoring 1 goal and setting up another in a 2-0 victory.
Good evening. Launceston was the state's top today, reaching a high of 18, 17 in Burnie, Hobart 16 and 15 at Devonport. 15 across Flinders, Island Grove and Strawn, Lyowini 9 and 17 at Smithton. On the close-up, low cloud covers most of Tasmania. Further out, a band of middle and high-level cloud associated with a front and low-pressure system can be seen over eastern New South Wales. Tomorrow, a high over South Australia will move across Victoria as a cold front passes to the south of WA. Northwest to southwesterly winds tomorrow 10 to 20 knots, swells up to 3 metres in the west and south and below 1 metre in the north. On to the warnings, and minor flood warnings are current for the Macquarie and Jordan rivers. Tomorrow's forecast now cloudy across Hobart and Ouse, Dover 15. In the north, Launceston 18, 17 and partly cloudy about Devonport and Scottsdale. Burnie tomorrow 17, Strawn, possible showers 16 in Stanley. St Helens and Ross partly cloudy and Swansea 16. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast, Tuesday fine apart from light showers about the far southwest. Wednesday showers about the southwest, and Thursday showers about the south, developing across the northeast and central areas from late morning. Capital cities sunny and 28 in Perth tomorrow. Adelaide mostly sunny and 16 in Melbourne. And currently Hobart mostly cloudy, Launceston 14 and Devonport mostly cloudy. That's all for weather tonight, Tom.
Great. Thank you very much for that, Jackie. Well, that wraps up all our news tonight. Louise will be back next weekend and Kim will have all your news during the week. Thanks so much for joining us and have a great night.